If you are thinking of starting a cleaning business, then you are in the right spot, because on this video, I am going to answer some of the most frequently asked questions that I get on my YouTube. And we're going to start off with the big one, overhead. Somebody asked me, just curious, what's overhead like and insurance? All right, so this question is so important that I had to go and get a pen and pad, write this down, because I didn't want to just wing this one. So we're going to start off with taxes, right? You got taxes, which is anywhere from 20 to 30% of your income, right? So you'll have sales taxes, and then you have federal and state, which can be paid quarterly or yearly. But the sales taxes, that needs to be paid every month, right, to the state. By the way, if you don't understand any of that language right there, go find you a CPA. You can go on Google, just type in certified public accountant or just an accountant in general. If you have a 9-to-5 job and you have a person that files your taxes for you, ask them. That is a certified public accountant. They can get you set up on all that good stuff and help you with your taxes in business. All right, now we're going to get into the administrative costs, right? What does it take to keep the business even functioning, right? Now, if you got an office, an actual office somewhere else, that'll cost you some money for the rent every single month. But this office I'm in right now, which is a home office, this is where I do all my business out of. It's inside of my house, so I don't have an extra expense for that. And then we're going to say water and light is already included in that as well. I don't have to count that. But internet and phone could be certified as or qualify as a business expense. And that's about $200 every month. Then we got insurance. You're going to need a general liability insurance policy of $1 million to $2 million. Some states may be even higher, but for general purposes, you're going to need about $1 million policy on these buildings that you go and clean, right? And it might sound like a lot, but it's anywhere from $90 to $150 per month, depending on where you are. Now, me in Florida right now, I'm paying anywhere from like $140 a month on my general liability insurance policy. But when I lived in Arkansas, my Arkansas business, I only pay $350 something a year on that policy. So, and I pay every 6 months. It's like whatever that is divided by 2. I pay that much in every single 6 months, right? So just go out there, shop around, find you some good general liability insurance policies, and you'll be okay right there. So now we're gonna go into software. I got QuickBooks and Homebase on here. That's the primary softwares that I use. I don't use a whole lot of software in this business. Now, if you got like Adobe or something like that to do e-signatures, that could be some money a month. But for the most part, I use QuickBooks, and that helps me send out invoices. I can track my expenses, my income, all that good stuff. Inventory, like my whole business is in QuickBooks. Also, when you go and talk to a CPA, a certified public accountant, they are able to plug into your QuickBooks and figure out exactly what you spent and help you do your write-offs, all that good stuff. Like, it's amazing. So QuickBooks is $60 per month. That's what I pay right now. It may go up in the future, depending on what time you watch this video, but right now it's about $60 a month, right? Then we got Homebase. Homebase is an app that allows my people to clock in, track their time, their days they worked, all that good stuff, right? That app right there is amazing. Haven't found a better app than that one. That's a great app. So Homebase is $24 a month, and we can say right there, we can just round all these numbers up, right? So for internet and phone, I got $200. For my insurance, we're going to say $150. Then for my software, we're going to say $84. Then for marketing can go from anywhere from $25 a month up to $2,500 a month. You don't need a whole lot of marketing when you first get started, but it's great to have your marketing expense in there, and that depends on however much you want to spend, right? So let's just say $100, right? You can go get you some flyers, business cards, make cold calls. Like, you can do some relatively inexpensive marketing in this business too, right? So I'm gonna say $100 right there, right? Then we got supplies, right? That depends on how much volume you're doing too, like how much business you out there doing, because you're not gonna have to buy a whole lot of stuff every single month. It varies depending on how much business you're doing. I'm gonna say $350. I'm not spending a whole lot of money every single month on my supplies, right? So that number rounds up to about close to $900 a month, right? And that just depends on what you're doing and where you are in your business. And when you first get started, it may be half that amount, right? So anyway, that's what I got there. Now, let's get into the next question, right? Somebody asked me, hey bro, do you do LinkedIn to market? And also, do you do cold email? Now, I have not used LinkedIn to do any marketing, right? I have a LinkedIn page, but it's not very active. I'm not on there like that. I do a lot of my marketing just kind of going face to face with people, door to door. I do some calling. I do some Google ads, stuff like that. But when it comes down to cold email, I don't do cold email. I do follow-up emails. Not saying it doesn't work, but I don't really do a whole lot of that. All right, so I had somebody else ask me, can they do this business from their iPhone? Now, I would say that you probably can do it from your iPhone, but it would be good to at least get a laptop or some sort of stationary desktop that you can kind of keep all your stuff in when it comes down to your templates and things. Like, it makes it a whole lot easier to send out proposals and things like that. Not saying you can do it on the phone, you probably can, but I find it easier to have at least a laptop, a desktop, something that you can do your business off of. But if there's a will, there's a way. So you can find a way to do that, and don't let that be a roadblock for you. Go to the library if you have to. Go borrow a computer, something, but you can get this business going probably with just your phone. Yes, you can. I will say yes on that. All right, so another awesome question I got. Somebody asked me how often and how long to keep following up after a proposal is made. Now, a proposal being a bid proposal, when you send out a proposal to a company offering your services to them, how long should you follow up? Now, general rule of thumb for me, y'all, I like to send a proposal and then I may wait 3 or 4, sometimes maybe even 5 days before I reach out to them and say, hey, just reaching out to see if you received our proposal, looking forward to getting started with you, something like that. Now, I have specific emails that I have written up and I can go back to in my actual quote unquote database or what I have in my notes or whatever. So that's something rough, but I would say you will want to spread it out. Like maybe 3, 4, 5 days, you reach out to them, and then you may wait another 2 days if you don't hear anything. And then you may start, from that point, you may start just kind of letting it go, right? Letting it ride out for about next 3 weeks, and then just keep following up, right? If you don't get an email back from them, that's when you start calling. After about that 3rd email, I like to start calling. Hey, just trying to, checking in to see how it's going. And hopefully you'll get an answer from them, and they may tell you, hey, we're still waiting on the decision maker, or they may tell you we went with somebody else. And from that standpoint, that's where you would just follow up with them every 2 months, something like that. But just keep them on a schedule. Put it in your phone. Hey, set a reminder to call this company back in 4 weeks or whatever, right? And that's how it goes. But you kind of just got to fill it out. You don't want to be too annoying, but you do want to stay top of mind. So remember that. How do I stay top of mind without being super annoying, right? So I hope that helps you. Okay, another great question. How would you bid a 10,000 square foot office building with office suites, 1-person job, cleaning 5 days a week, 2 hours, each cleaning visit, 5 bathrooms, break room. It's a 3-level suite building, basic cleaning. Okay, that's a lot in there, but just to break it down into simple form, all right, I have a video where I do basically for a basic office building, 10,000 square feet, I'm already knowing off the top of my head it's going to be anywhere from $1,900 to about $2,300, $2,400 a month. Somewhere in there, the sweet spot for a building like that is probably going to be $2,200 a month for that building right there, right? And I'm getting this number based off of a 20 cent per square foot basis. And I also break this down, and I break this down in one of my videos, but I go off of how much I want to be paid per hour, also, and how much I want to be cleaning per square feet, like what percentage per square feet, right? So I hope that makes sense to you, but just simple form, if I'm looking at 2 hours a visit, if I'm looking at 5 days a week, 2 hours a visit, I'm probably looking at about $50 an hour. That's where I'm going at. You're going to come out to about $100 a day, right? That's 2 hours, $50 an hour. That's $100 a day for 20 days out of that month, not counting the weekends, right? You got 4 weeks, right? 5, 5, 5, 5. That's going to be around $2,000. Or, if you want to go up a little bit on it. Also, I teach pricing psychology as well. So you want to tweak that number a little bit as well. And if you want to come and put some of your supplies and expenses on there as well, you can tailor that number to where you want to. But that's pretty simple for me. If I'm looking at a flat number like that, 10,000 square feet, I know for sure it's going to be somewhere in that sweet spot, like 2,200 up to about 24, 25 even maybe, depending on where you are. But down here in my market, that's a sweet spot for that, about 2,200. Hope that helps. Excuse the interruption. I hope you're getting some value out of this. If so, give me a like on this video so it can reach some more people like us and we can continue to do this content. All right, another question. Hi, Darian, do you have any lasting smell goods for restrooms and office? So I have a video out showing exactly what I use. I believe it's all the supplies you need, right? On that video, I go over everything, right? But I also show you guys that I use Mr. Clean, the Gain smell is the greatest one. It's the best one. You can use that Gain anywhere. It's a multi-purpose cleaner, so it's not gonna hurt anything. It's great for pretty much everything, but you don't want to put it on glass. It's not a glass cleaner, but you can use it on anything and it smells amazing. So I would say if you have that, you're pretty good. It's going to last a long time. Or if you want to get you some air fresheners or sprays like that, get something that's non-toxic. Get something from your janitorial supply store that suits your flavor, right? Whatever you like. I like the clean, fresh stuff, but that Gain Mr. Clean is phenomenal. That's pretty much all you're gonna need for smell good. So thanks for the question. Okay, another great question. What about insurance, bonds, software to use, marketing, uniforms, and website expenses? Now, I did cover some of this earlier, most of it, but I didn't hit the bond insurance, website expenses, and the uniform. So let's get into the bond. The bond insurance is not necessary in the beginning. If it's just you trust yourself, you know you're not gonna steal anything out of this building. You don't necessarily have to have it, but your bond insurance covers the equipment, supplies, tools, anything that's inside of that office, right? Laptops, all that stuff. If someone come up missing, they start to blame you, your bond insurance would cover that. And you can find that, just Google bond insurance near me. You can find a bond insurance broker. Also, we got uniforms. Now, what I do is I like to wear collar shirts. If you watch any of my other videos, I usually have a collar shirt. It's that dry fit type, like a wicker type shirt, not a very heavy polo, but it's a dry fit type of polo. And I like to wear either some khaki, black, or gray cargo shorts, right? Like that's my style. That's what I like to go out in. I recommend people go out and rock something like that. That's lightweight, looks professional, is decent, you good to go, right? Now you can get a website made and built for you on Wix.com or Squarespace or GoDaddy. You can get a relatively inexpensive website even done on Fiverr.com. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money. Some of them, you can get them done for about $100 for that one-time fee, or you got the $15 a month up into the $450 a month. I don't need all that good stuff. You don't necessarily need all that. You just need something that is presentable, gonna show your brand, and that will allow your business to be perceived in the marketplace as a presentable and professional company, right? That's really all you need, right? But great question. All right, next question. Do you have any suggestions on how to bid apartment complex buildings and a walkthrough? Now, I used to do a whole lot of apartment complexes and residential stuff back when I was first getting started. Nowadays, I do a whole lot of commercial, but one thing that worked out really, really well for me is I used to structure my pricings on a per apartment type of basis. No matter how clean it was or how dirty it was, I'm charging the same exact amount for the 1 bedrooms, the 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, and however many more rooms they got in there, right, in that apartment complex. But the way that I did it, I didn't even necessarily do a walkthrough. I just had a flat rate. Like if you want to add the inside of the microwave, the inside of the oven, well, we did the microwave. I added the microwave was already included, but if you wanted the oven cleaned, if you wanted the refrigerator cleaned, all that good stuff, then that was so many more extra dollars, right? Like $75 extra or something like that. That's how I did it. But I do have a template. I have a sample template. If you want that, I can send you that as well. But it was pretty standard. 1 bedrooms is this price. Nowadays, you probably charging like $225 off the jump right nowadays. But I don't know exactly how that goes. Don't shoot me for that. I don't know. But it's, you know, you start at like $200, then you go up to like $250, $300, then you go up to like $300, $400. You just keep going up, and no matter what it looks like, this is the fee, right? If it takes me 2 hours in here or 6 hours in here, I'm charging you this much, right? And that's kind of how that worked out. All right, I have another question on here. Great info. I've been at it for about 3 months, but I'm struggling to get clients and contracts. Any tips? I'm doing Google Ads. Now, man, if you're doing Google ads, you gotta kind of be careful with that. If you're just getting started, Google ads probably aren't your best strategy starting off, because you may not have the credibility on your Google profile. You may not look legitimate enough, and you don't have enough testimonials, all that good stuff. I suggest going out there and doing work for people that know, like, and trust you and are able to give you an opportunity immediately, and then you start to build up your testimonials, your photos, your whole catalog, and make your business look like something that'll give you the experience, and it'll also just build your online presence, and that'll make those Google ads pop a little bit more. That's my personal opinion on that. I hope that helps you out. But go out there and just talk to more people that are in your general region that you can go and do outreach to, instead of trying to bring them to you, right? You might have to go out there and outreach first until they start coming to you, right? So I hope that helps you. Thanks for the question. All right, next question. How much for a consultation to get personal time with you about janitorial business? I need help figuring out how to write a contract, and how much do you charge for commercial building services? All right, so I do have a coaching program going on right now. I do consultations. Just reach out to me in my email, DarianJarrett9@gmail.com. I can get you all the information, and I know I can help you with this because I've been through that same thing, right? Doing a proposal, all that good stuff. I have several templates ready, whether it's the full service template where you're buying paper towels, tissue, all that good stuff, as well as doing window jobs, window cleaning, floor cleaning, all that stuff. I got that, as well as the simple template where it's just a standard clean. I have all that ready for you, and you can just rinse and repeat, use your own template. And so anyway, reach out to me in my email. I'll be glad to do a consultation with you. We'll do a free call on the first one, and then if you want to keep doing coaching with me, that's where we'll go on, and we'll do the actual program. So hope that helps you out. All right, great question here. How much do you charge an hour for a building? So when you're starting off, I recommend people just get their foot in the door, figure out how to do this, but you want to be around about $30, that $30 to $40 range, and the sweet spot about $35 when you first get started. That's kind of what I used to do when I used to do subcontracts. Like when I subcontracted for somebody else, they would subcontract it to me. I would be making around about $37.50 an hour, right? So that's like that sweet spot when you first get started. You're figuring it out, but it can go up to $50 an hour. Some of my buildings, I'm making like $70 an hour. And it's like, wow, that's amazing, right? So it can go up to as much as possible. You're not trying to gyp nobody out here, but you can make some really, really good money. It can get really lucrative, especially if you're doing all kind of specialty services as well. That's how that goes. But the sweet spot when you first get started, you want to go in about $37.50, maybe $40 an hour, somewhere around there. And it's going to take you getting used to how buildings work, so you can see, all right, I know if I do this, if I bid this one at this amount, I'm gonna be making around this much an hour, right? But my goal nowadays, I don't do anything for less than $50 an hour. I'm going in there $50 an hour and above. That's kind of how it works for me nowadays. So I hope that helps you out too. Go out there and just figure it out. You'll figure, I promise you, you're gonna see. Just get the experience, you'll figure it out. All right, another great question here. Do you think it's a good idea to print out flyers and business cards and put them on people's cars or doors to promote your business? Now, I don't think it's a good idea to put them on people's cars. I don't think that's a good idea, but I do think it's a good idea to print out business cards and flyers. That is a great idea, but you want to do targeted marketing. You don't want to just spray and pray, right? Just spray them on all these different cars out there, because you don't know who you don't want to be putting them on a bunch of random people's cars. You want to go to the decision maker, put it in their hand, figure out like who is the person that can actually give me an opportunity. That's who you want to be targeting with your flyer and business card. So great question. Just go out there and find out who that person is and then give it to them. All right, y'all. So I'm going to have to do a part 2 on this one. I hope you got some value out of this one. If you did, give me a like on this. I will come back and do a part 2 on this one. I got a whole lot of other questions that I'm just not going to be able to get to. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.